Why do we do what we do? Why does one person choose kindness while another chooses violence? Why do we fall in love, form tribes, or wage war? This is the question Robert Sapolsky spends 800 pages trying to answer in Behave, the biology of humans at our best and worst. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through it, not just summarizing, but building a layered understanding of human behavior, starting from what happens 1 second before you act and tracing it back through hormones, neurons, childhood, culture, and evolution. Get ready, this is not your average pop science video. It's 1 second before you make a decision. What's happening in your body? Your amygdala might be on high alert, especially if it senses threat. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational planner, is trying to keep you in check. Your hypothalamus is prepping your body. Dopamine is tweaking your motivation. Testosterone may be pushing you towards dominance. And your mirror neurons might be firing in empathy or not at all. This movement is not the product of a rational mind weighing facts. It's a product of a complex biological network shaped by everything that's happened before. So let's rewind. What happened in the last few minutes? You got cut off in traffic, you're hungry, you didn't sleep well last night. All of these affect your behavior. Your blood glucose level drops, impairing self-control. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods your system. And if you're a guy with high testosterone, your aggression might spike, not necessarily towards violence, but towards competition or status seeking. If you have just worked out, your endorphins make you more relaxed. These biological shifts, some just seconds old, start tipping the scales in your brain, and they are not acting alone. The day before, you fought with a friend. This morning, you chugged coffee but skipped breakfast. Last night, your sleep sucked. This might seem unrelated, but they are not. Poor sleep impairs the prefrontal cortex, weakening impulse control. Emotional residue from a fight can prime your brain, basically putting it on threat alert. And do not underestimate hormones. They are not just mood modulators. They shape decision making. For instance, oxytocin increases trust, but also increases in-group bias. That's right, the love hormone can make us more tribal. Your environment does not just influence your behavior, it literally rewires your brain. Now let's go back to your childhood. Your early life shaped the architecture of your brain. Neglect, trauma, nurturing love, this mold your limbic system, stress response, and even gene expression. If you grew up in chaos, your amygdala might be hypersensitive. If you're raised in safety, your prefrontal cortex might be stronger. This isn't destiny, it's probability, but biology remembers. Even rats raised by nurturing mothers show lower stress response and better learning. Childhood sets the default but not the final word on who you become. In adolescence, things get wild. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for judgment, is still under construction. But your dopamine system, fully online. You're hypersensitive to rewards, novelty, and peers. This is why teens take stupid risks. Their brakes aren't fully installed, but their gas pedal is slammed down. Sapolsky explains this as evolutionary logic. Adolescence is about leaving the nest, finding mates, and competing. So risk-taking isn't a bug, it's a feature. Let's zoom out to culture. Humans are ultra-social primates. We live in tribes, we mimic, we confirm, and culture is a layered software running on our biological hardware. It teaches us who we are and who they are. Group identity shapes behavior more than facts ever could. It determines whether we feel empathy or suspicion. It can push ordinary people towards heroism or towards genocide. Culture creates moral frameworks, but here is the twist. They are not universal. What's right in one culture might be repulsive in another. Morality isn't a fixed code, it's a context-sensitive, emotionally driven system. Now we go back even further to evolution. Much of what we think of as human has roots in primate behavior, dominance hierarchies, territorial aggression, sexual selection, and coalition building. Sapolsky, who studies baboons, shows how behaviors like revenge, status seeking, and empathy all exist in our primate cousins, just in simple forms. And as we evolved, we got more complex, but not always more rational. We are not evolved for truth or justice, we are evolved for reproductive success and group cohesion. That explains why humans can be so brilliant and compassionate and so cruel and irrational. So, with all this biology, all this baggage, are we doomed? Is everything just neurons firing and hormones flowing? Sapolsky is honest. He does not pretend free will is simple. In fact, he leans towards determinism, the idea that everything we do has a cause. But he also shows something beautiful. Humans are capable of reflecting on their own behavior, of changing environments to change outcomes, of overriding impulses, of choosing peace when war would be easier. Biology is not an excuse, it's an explanation. And with understanding, we gain power. The story of human behavior is messy. It's layered, emotional, biological, cultural, historical. It's not one story. It's millions crashing into each other every day. Robert Sapolsky's Behave teaches us that we cannot understand a single act, good or evil, without seeing the whole timeline that led to it. But if you are willing to look, to really zoom out, we can become more compassionate, more self-aware, and maybe, just maybe, a little more human. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, drop a comment with the word neurospaghetti so I know you are one of the real ones. Let me know what other books or ideas you want me to break down. Until next time, stay curious and thank you so much for watching.